lovelies and studlies, and welcome to this week's Craft Corner. Now, I know what you're all thinking, and it's been a while. I know, right? But I have been incredibly busy. We are getting set up in the new house, and I actually have a new job now, which requires a lot more hours than the job I was working back in Charleston. So it was an adjustment getting changed over from that schedule to this schedule, which is almost 55 hours a week. Adjusting to that and then trying to find time to record and edit as well has been tough. But I've been trying my best to get back into it, and I have a great plan for this week. So let's get started. What we're going to be doing for this week's Craft Corner, if you can see behind me on my fancy sign, we're going to be doing dollar store pumpkin upcycling. So basically, I've got a bunch of cheap Dollar Tree pumpkins. So what we're going to do is we're going to make them look like they haven't come from the dollar store. For this first craft, you are going to need the dollar store pumpkins that you want to use. You are also going to need a white or off-white chalk paint, and you are also going to need spray paint. Specifically, you're going to need Krylon Looking Glass spray paint, and you will also need a paintbrush. The first thing you're going to do is paint your pumpkins white with chalk paint. Now that the chalk paint on the pumpkins is dry, we are going to spray paint it with the Krylon Looking Glass spray paint. And now we wait for them to dry once again, and then they're finished. And now that the paint is dried, this is our final product. Other than your pumpkin for this craft, you're going to need white chalk paint, a paintbrush, some ribbon, and or some twine. The first thing we're going to do, just like with the mercury glass, we're going to be painting the pumpkin white. And now we let it sit and dry. Now that it's dry, it's time to add a second coat. Now once again we sit and wait for it to dry. Now that the paint is dried, you can either leave it like this and maybe add a bow to the top, or what I'm going to do is add a little bit of antiquing wax. And I'm just going to pour some of the wax into the lid. You don't need very much at all. And now that I have the antiquing wax to the point that I like it, I'm just barely adding a bit more of the chalk paint over the top. But once you have it antiqued exactly the way you like it, again, you can either leave it like this, or I'm going to add a little bow onto the top. Take your hot glue gun, add a dab onto the top of your pumpkin, and add your bow. And now you have a beautifully shabby chic pumpkin. For this next one, you're going to need some white spray paint, a marker, and some creepy crawlers. We're going to start off by spray painting the pumpkin white. And now we let this one dry. Now that our paint is dried, you're going to want to take your black marker and draw a spider web onto your pumpkin. Now that you've finished drawing your spider web, you can start hot gluing your spiders all over it. Once you feel like you've sufficiently covered your pumpkin in creepy crawlers, you are ready to put it on display. For this final craft, you're going to need a hot glue gun, some extra hot glue sticks, and a spray paint in the color of your choosing. For this one, all you need to do is use the hot glue to write out whatever word you want or put on whatever design you want. Then you just let it dry, you paint over it. It adds a lot more dimension than just taking a pen and writing it. Once your hot glue is dried, pick off all of the extra stringy bits, and then you're just going to want to spray paint over it. And once it's dry, you can even go back over with a different color paint and paint over the design of the letters that you did with the hot glue to make it pop out even more. One really easy way to quickly upcycle any pumpkin that doesn't look quite the way that you want it to is to just spray paint it with the color that you prefer. It's a really quick, easy way to upcycle any pumpkin you get from anywhere. You can make it any color you want so that it fits exactly where you want it to go. This is a great way to create pumpkins that are good for Halloween and can also transition easily into fall. Another incredibly easy way to add a little bit more style is to add some embellishments. It's an incredibly quick and easy way to add something a little bit extra. This is also a great way to decorate pumpkins without having to carve them. Of course, another super fun, easy way to make your pumpkins a little bit more than they are is to spray paint them with chalk paint. And now, once this is dry, you'll either have a wonderful matte black look to your pumpkin, or you'll have a chalk surface that you can write whatever you'd like on it. It's a great addition to any Halloween decor. Another really cool thing that you can do with these styrofoam dollar store pumpkins is cut them in half. By cutting them in half, you now have a flat surface you can easily hang on the wall. For these ones, I'm just going to use a black marker and put a little design on them. After I finished putting designs on both the pumpkins, this is what I've ended up with. I also took some twine and tied it into a bow and hot glued it onto the top. And now they're ready to be hung up on the wall.